Good morning, beautiful people. I hope you are doing well. Yesterday evening, I had a beautiful conversation with a friend of mine called Bonnie Bessem. It was a live conversation on Facebook and YouTube about God. And there are not many people that I can speak to about God because God is a touchy subject, and I do completely understand that. I mean, there's so many the name of God has been used in so many bad ways, manipulative ways, religious ways, and but that's not the kind of God that I am talking about. It's more source, our friend, our lover, as Rumi would say. And so it's wonderful to talk to Bonnie about that. And we were asking each other, how do you make this contact with source? What is your technique, so to say? And I was reminded that when you look at the brain activity of yogis and monks and people who pray, but also if you look at the brain activity of people who get these downloads of inspiration or are channeling or are inspired or have these aha moments, you see a similar pattern. On the one hand, you see that they create very, very, very slow, relaxing waves. The kind of waves that we all produce in our sleep. Delta, theta, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Waves. These really slow, relaxing waves. And on the other hand, they also create, or on the other side of the spectrum, they also create these super fast waves called gamma waves. They're like that. And these waves connect us to the subtle energies, to the high frequencies of God or Source. These subtle, higher states of being. And these gamma waves are sometimes called the God frequency. And it's like they connect us to Source. So that is what is happening when we connect to Source. On the one hand, our body and our mental state are in a complete relaxed state. And on the other hand, there is this super high frequency of being completely awake and turned on to life. And so the way to get into this state, what I do anyway, is I breathe deeply to begin with, like like that. I relax my jaw and my tongue like this. I try to look as dumb as possible. And the yogis, they say that if your jaw and your tongue are relaxed, it's impossible to think. So try that out. And then you feel this deep relaxation coming over you. And when you feel that deep, deep, deep relaxation, then you turn on those gamma waves, those super fast waves. And what happens then is you become completely awake. It's like you're turned on. And what happens is that you sort of, it's like all your senses, your inner hearing, your inner knowing, your inner feeling, your inner sight, they're all turned on, opening themselves, listening, receiving information. And then you notice that information is actually coming to you. God is constantly communicating with all of us through feelings, through telepathy, through words, through inner knowing, through inspiration, through visions. It can be in many, many ways. But we need to get into those really, really high frequencies, because then it helps us to resonate with the same frequency that God is tuned to. It's like tuning our radio. So on the one hand, it's relaxing completely. And on the other hand, it is really opening ourselves, being completely awake and on, turned on tuned in to life itself. So that's maybe something to experiment with today, to tune in to the God frequency. So this is Tijn from Amsterdam, wishing you a beautiful, inspired day. See you tomorrow.